Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Oh, it's a better afternoon than that. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right. It's a pleasure to be in Old Westbury today, back at Old Westbury today, walking through for a mass vaccination site. It's amazing how different this world is. There was nothing called a mass vaccination site several months ago. We have a whole new language. You walk through this facility now and you look at the way it's set up, it looks like something you would see after a science fiction movie, but it is the reality that we're living. I want to thank Timothy Sams very much, the new president, for all his help today. Reverend Calvin Butts was here for many years. He leaves big shoes, but we're sure President Sams is going to step up, and I want to thank him for his hospitality. We have our great Health Commissioner, Dr. Howard Zucker, you'll hear from in a moment. We have Tracy Edwards, who's the president of the Long Island NAACP. We have Bishop Lionel Harvey, Bishop of the First Baptist Cathedral of Westbury. We have Christian Jarnigan, who's the president and CEO of Discover Long Island, which does great work here on Long Island. Michael Dowling, CEO of Northwell Health. Northwell has just been phenomenal, not just on Long Island. Let's give Northwell a round of applause, what they've done. And we have more to do. And we have John Dorso, who is the epitome of a labor leader and a progressive labor leader. Let's give him a round of applause. We have to get serious today. We have three major tasks that this state must complete simultaneously. First is the vaccination. The vaccine is the weapon that wins the war. Great, it's developed. But you have to get it, and then you have to get it in people's arms. Now, President Biden, who's done an amazing job, accelerating the acquisition of the vaccination, now says we'll have enough by May 31 to make everyone eligible. That doesn't mean we'll have enough to vaccinate everyone by May 31, but we'll have enough to make everyone eligible. The vaccination task is massive. Just to give you an idea, all the vaccinations we've been doing, all these weeks, all these months, we have fully vaccinated 2 million New Yorkers, okay? We have 15 million eligible New Yorkers to vaccinate, all right? All this work, 2 million, we have to do 15 million New Yorkers. So we have a long way to go. This is an operational, logistical situation that we've never dealt with before. It is a major, major task. The single most effective vaccination mechanism is what we call a mass vaccination site. This is a mass vaccination site. It is one large facility capable of doing thousands. In some cases, we keep them open 24 hours a day. But from what we call a throughput, from just getting needles in arms, these mass sites are the most effective. There's going to be one here, obviously at Old Westbury. It's being set up right now. One at SUNY Stony Brook at the Southampton campus. And there's going to be one opening at Suffolk Community College in Brentwood. They open on Friday, this Friday. They're preparing to open now. They open on Friday. They start taking appointments on Wednesday. So Wednesday you can start making appointments. Wednesday also is the day that eligibility opens up for a new class of essential workers. And that's on the website, public-facing essential workers. Between now and Wednesday, 60-year-old plus have priority for schedules, okay? So, mass vaccination sites open Friday. They start taking appointments Wednesday. On Wednesday, a next class of essential workers becomes eligible. Between now and Wednesday, the 60-year-old plus still have priority for appointments. I don't know anyone who is 60 plus. I'm still waiting for mine. I have to get down to 28 years old before I'm eligible. Some of these people here, though, they look to me like they're bumping up near the eligibility level. But I'm still not there. Actually, I am there. I just don't look like I'm there. I'm going to take mine, and I'm going to take mine at a pop-up center in a black community, because I want to make that point, and I want to take a Johnson & Johnson, because I want to make the point that the Johnson & Johnson is safe. So I'm going to take mine in the coming days. That's vaccines overall. Massive undertaking. Ancillary problem to the vaccines. We don't want to just distribute them, we want to distribute them fairly. COVID discriminated. COVID was race blind, but COVID wound up discriminating. COVID killed 2 times as many blacks as whites. 2 times as many blacks as whites. COVID killed 1.5 times more Hispanics than whites. Why? Because COVID preyed on the underlying health disparity. The communities that were healthcare deserts. The communities that didn't have the same access to healthcare, so they had more comorbidities. They had more underlying conditions. And that's why COVID killed, literally killed, more black people and Hispanic people than white people. When it comes to the vaccine, we have to correct that injustice. This vaccine has to be available to everyone equitably and fairly, and we have to do social justice with this vaccine. We are going to make this vaccine available in the communities that have been hardest hit. I am asking faith-based church leaders, pastors, let us use your church as a pop-up vaccination site. Opening up vaccination sites in public housing, opening up vaccination sites in community centers. We will bring the vaccine to those communities hardest hit. We've done over 120 pop-up sites already. I want to get my vaccine in a church predominantly for the black community to make the point. But we need the black community and the Hispanic community to come forward and have confidence in this vaccine. You want to hear a frightening number? On Long Island, about 11% of the population is black. Only 5% has taken the vaccine. Half the eligible population. Hispanic community, about 14% of the population, about 17% of the population, only 8%. White community is actually higher than the population. We have to fix that. We have to fix that. Now, it gets complicated, and I want to be honest. They'll say, well, there's a hesitancy problem in the black community. It's not a hesitancy problem. We tend to come up with polite definitions for problems we don't really like to acknowledge. There's not a hesitancy problem. There's a trust problem in the black community. They don't trust the system. They don't trust the federal government. Trump administration said it's safe. They don't trust it. By the way, I didn't trust the Trump administration when they said it was safe. That's why we set up a whole separate New York State panel to review it. But we did set up a New York State panel, and they reviewed it, the best doctors. We have done over 5 million doses. Nobody's experimenting on anyone. The leading black medical professionals in the United States of America say take the vaccine. I had my mother take the vaccine. I'll have my daughters take the vaccine. I'm going to take the vaccine. Please listen to the leadership of the black community and the Hispanic community. Listen to the pastors who are here. Listen to Bishop Harvey. They would not recommend the vaccine if it was not safe. And there's a risk to taking a vaccine. No, no. There's a risk to not taking the vaccine. Second track that the state has to work on simultaneously. Today, the legislature puts in their budgets. So the Senate puts in their budget, the Assembly puts in their budget. I presented my budget several weeks ago. This is the most important budget in the history of the state of New York. You tell me what we do in this budget, I'll tell you what the future of New York State is. We're recovering from COVID. We have a tremendous deficit, largest deficit in the history of the state. We have the greatest needs for the people of the state: unemployed, housing problems, mental health problems, food insecurity problems. We are at a pivotal moment in this state. And what we do now will decide the trajectory. And the budget is more than just a budget. The word budget doesn't really work. It's like hesitancy. This is not a budget. This is the plan for recovery for the state of New York. And we have real issues on Long Island. New York City has serious, serious issues. Growing crime, growing homelessness. Zoom has changed the world. COVID we will recover from. Zoom isn't going away. COVID may go away, Zoom's not going away. And Zoom said you can live your life a different way. You don't have to get in the car and commute. You don't have to get on the train and commute. You can just do it by Zoom. So this is a very delicate moment, and that's what this budget is all about, and we have to do it in a number of weeks, and we have to be serious about it. There are significant revenue-raising proposals. How you raise revenue can actually raise revenue or can cost you revenue. If you're not careful the way you do it, you may actually lose money for the state because businesses and residences will make changes. There are also pieces of legislation that we've been trying to get done for a long time that we have to get done this year. Passing marijuana reform and legalizing recreational marijuana. We've tried to do that for the past 3 years. We have to get it done this year. There's been too many young lives that have been ruined because of the marijuana laws. I spent this past weekend on the phone with the Assembly Majority Leader, Crystal Peoples-Stokes, working through it. We're very close on marijuana. Truth is, we've been very close before. Member Crystal Peoples-Stokes is from Buffalo. Buffalo Bills, we all know, play in Buffalo. I said, look, this is not about getting in the red zone anymore. We have to get over the goal line this time. We need the 7 points. So a lot happening on that budget that we have to get done, and that starts today. And thirdly, we have to reopen the economy. We have to get back to work. We have to get people earning checks. We have to get businesses moving. People need to return to normalcy. They need the mental stability of normalcy. Kids have to get back into classrooms. We have to reopen. And part of that, which we've been moving all along, we're going to announce today that we are going to start again a great Long Island tradition, which was the Bethpage Air Show at Jones Beach. And that is going to happen this year. We'll have masks, we'll have social distancing, but we're going to do that again. Last point, and I'm sorry for going on so long. On the way here today, I went through a lot of places, a lot of memories. We had Superstorm Sandy on Long Island. And we spent months with Superstorm Sandy. I mean, it devastated life. Businesses, homes, jobs, people. And in the midst of it, it seemed like we were doomed. I tell you, it just seemed like we would never be able to build back. And it was a dark, dark period for people. And there were a lot of tears, and there was a lot of despair. But we said, you know what? We can build back from this. And as a matter of fact, we're not going to build back, we're going to build back better. We said that during Hurricane Sandy. That was our expression. Build back better. We're going to learn from it. Sometimes God comes and he knocks you on your rear end for one reason or another. Or life comes and knocks you on your rear end for one reason or another. Circumstances happen. Things happen. People get sick. Accidents happen. The question is what you do when you get knocked on your rear end. And New Yorkers get up. And they get up stronger. And they learn the lesson. And they rebuild back better. And that's what we did after Superstorm Sandy. And that's what we're going to do after COVID. This is not the last time we're going to see a pandemic. It will happen again. But we will never be caught surprised and uninformed and unprepared like we were this time. And the silver lining in this storm, you saw people come together and form real community and real resilience. And you saw love, and you saw volunteerism. And you're going to see people volunteering to work in this mass vaccination site, putting their health at risk because they love their neighbors. And that is the silver lining. And that's the essence of what New York is. And that's the essence of what New York represented to this nation through COVID. When the nation watched New York last year getting beaten up, they saw New Yorkers stand up. And we gave hope to the nation, and we're going to do it again. Thank you, and God bless. Let me introduce our great health commissioner, Dr. Howard Zucker.